You know how much I always complain about the grocery prices. My house rent is approximately 1600. Your expenses will go up or reduce based on your lifestyle choices. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Yemisi. If you're new here, hi. I feel like someone that's been very inconsistent, someone that left you guys hanging for a very long time, and I really do apologize, but I am back and I don't want to jinx it, but I am back. Okay, I'm back to my sit down videos. I feel like that's what a lot of people connected to when I first started, so you guys will be seeing a lot more sit down videos going forward. Fingers crossed. So hi, if you're new here, my name is Yemisi. I currently live in Edmonton, Alberta. I'm currently on my postgraduate work permit. I came into Canada as an international student. I graduated last year. I feel like that's a lot of information, but you know what, just go on the channel, sift through the videos, and you will know a lot more about me. Okay, this particular video, it is a highly requested video, and I was trying my best to run away from it for the longest time. Not because I don't know my monthly expenses, but I'm currently in a new province and I wanted to kind of understand my expenses first before I talk about it. I made a similar video when I was still an international student. I'll try to link the video up here for you. I broke down my expenses as an international student, like all of the details down to groceries, bus pass, you know, all of those things. I wanted to replicate that in this video because every time I put out a vlog and I go grocery shopping, for those that have been watching me, you know how much I always complain about the grocery prices, and I don't think that it is not expected because we are all currently living in this post-COVID era, and we all know how COVID has impacted a lot of things: inflation, economic downturn. Is it downturn or downtime? That's why I'm making this video. This is very personal to me. These are my monthly expenses, and it will vary depending on your lifestyle choices. And also, I am single, so these expenses are to my own family size. Then again, in this video I'll try to break down some of this information relating to family expenses, just so that you have a grasp of it for those people that will be coming in with their family members. And this video also appeals to you whether you're an international student or you are here on work permit or as a permanent resident. The only thing though is that as a student, there were things that I deprived myself of just because I thought it wasn't necessary. I can always get it later. So all of those kind of things, you can take them out of the radar. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that I've shifted too drastically from my normal lifestyle. Pick up some of the things that you think is important to you, move on from the ones that you think is not important to you. So without further ado, let us go into the video. So just as I mentioned, keep in mind that some of the expenses that I'm going to mention in this video may be general estimates, those ones that are not really personal to me. So I want to also give a disclaimer that I currently live in Edmonton, and Edmonton is not really a high-end city compared to other cities in Canada. Some of this goes to vary based on your location, lifestyle choices, and your personal circumstances. Okay, the first thing and the major expense that anyone will tell you they incur in Canada is house rent. My house rent is approximately 1600, so that's $1,600 Canadian dollars. So all the amounts I'm going to be mentioning in this video, they'll be in Canadian dollars. For those people that have not seen my apartment hunting video, I'll put that up here so that you can watch the video and you kind of have an idea of the apartment. So it's a 2-bedroom, 2 bathrooms, and a den. I personally think it's somewhat a steal, if I'm going to be honest, because of the location and because of some of the amenities that I have. So my house has a gym, comes with a laundry, dishwasher, water. Like, you don't have to pay for water. The only thing I pay is internet, electricity, and one other thing, but I'll let you guys know in this video. I currently have a housemate, so that way I'm able to share. That's what a lot of people do, especially if you're single. You try to get a housemate. So how do you get a housemate? Sometimes it could be through referrals. Mine was through referrals. So someone just reached out to me and said, oh, I heard that you just moved in and have someone that is coming down, the rest is history. For some people, you have to put up the house on Facebook Marketplace, so kijiji.ca, and let people know that you're looking for a roommate. So that's why when anyone is asking me how they can get accommodation in Canada, I refer them to kijiji.ca, Facebook Marketplace. Those places you can get listings where people will tell you they're looking for a housemate or a roommate, whatever type of accommodation you're looking for. Everyone will tell you that house rent typically covers the bulk of your expenses in the month. Something that came to mind is when you're looking for an apartment, and this is just my preference and I feel like might be helpful for you, I try to look at proximity to different important places. So for example, the bus station, grocery store, the gas station, that's what I look out for, and I just wanted to put that there just so that it's something that comes to mind for you. I think this is for everyone. When you are signing your agreement, sometimes they ask you if you want a prioritized, some don't even give you a choice of whether or not to sign a prioritized form of payment for my house rent. I don't think I had a choice. I think that was already like part of the forms that I had to fill. So when I was living in Regina, I remember that I had the option of either a prioritized payment plan, or I send a check every month, or I credit the landlord or the account manually. So that was another thing that I wanted to also bring to your awareness, just so that you know. So mine is prioritized. So every month when that amount leaves our account, is like I gasp for breath. But it's not that deep, really. It's not that deep. So that's the major expenses that I incur every month. My house rent covers water, garbage, laundry in suite, and I'm very, 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 very thankful for that, because where I'm coming from, so when I was living in Saskatoon, I was living in a house. It was a 4-bedroom apartment. We were 4 students and we had a laundry downstairs in the basement. And then I moved to my apartment in Regina. We didn't have a laundry in-house, so we had to use a general laundry and we had to pay with coin. I think it was $2 for washing, $2.50 for washing, and then $1.50 for drying. Thankful for one of my friends, Rachel. I'd always pack my dirty stuff, go to her house on a weekend and wash all my stuff, because I know that the money is not a lot, but personally I just thought, why would I be holding coins in this cashless economy? I'm just not that person that holds cash. So yeah, it wasn't working for me. And that thing I wanted to also let you know is that majority, if not all, of these houses will request for a security deposit, so that in case there's any damages in the house, they can calculate all the damages you have made in the house, and then they take out that amount when you are leaving. That way you get the remaining balance. So for my own apartment, I had to pay the equivalent of my monthly expenses, so that means approximately $3,200. For some apartments, they'll tell you to pay half of your house rent. Yeah, so that's in some other cases, and some, I'm not sure that I've seen anyone that never asks for security deposits. No, because even when I first moved to Regina for my summer job, I was living with someone for like 3 months, and the person also requested for a security deposit. That is the norm in the country. Before I move on from house rent, I also wanted to share the average prices of rent in Canada, or rather in my city, Edmonton. If you're looking for a studio or a 1-bedroom, is somehow around $1,000 to $1,500 on the average. You can get something that is less, you can get something that is more. I've said this before in one of my videos. I personally think that it's better to get a 2-bedroom in Edmonton, especially where I currently live, because when I was in Regina, I didn't really notice the price difference between 1 bed and a 2-bed. But here I can see that it's very, very slim. Like, it's as slim as about $200 difference. So I personally would say go for a 2-bedroom apartment and then look for someone to offset the bill with. 2-bedroom, $1,200 to $1,800, could be less, could be more. 3-bedroom could be within $1,500 to $2,500 Canadian dollars. I've never bought a house, but I mean, I speak to people that have houses, and on the average they pay between $1,500 to like 3,000 Canadian dollars, depending on the location of the house, depending on their loan terms, their interest rates, and also depending on the how, like, is it a condo, is it a townhouse, is it a house? Okay, another thing that I pay is house insurance. That was somewhat new to me. And when I was telling my friend about it, even though we all lived in Regina, she was like, oh, it's a normal thing. I never paid the house insurance, but here I have to pay monthly. Currently I pay $28. This covers for, is it 30,000, something $1 million damages, something like that. And when I started, I was told to pay for the first month and the last month. It's like a yearly package. The next thing is power. So far so good. Maybe because my house is not on the ground, I get a lot of lighting or sunlight. I barely put on the light. And personally, if I'm saying this because I know some of my friends come and attack me. I personally don't like lights on, so it works for me. If you know anything about Canada, if you put on your lights, power bill is reading. On the average, we've been paying about $60. I don't even think we've ever paid $60, like 50 something dollars, but let's just say approximately $60 per month. Another thing would be home internet, phone, TV, depending on your plan. My current plan, I don't have a TV yet. I only have a home Wi-Fi, and we're paying about $45 for that per month. This one is very, very personal to me. I pay my tithe every month, and that's 10% of your disposable income, right? Next up will be phone bills. This one is a bit different depending on the service provider that you are with, depending on the plan that you subscribe to, depending on the rate, depending on the promo at the time that you subscribe to the payment plan, the phone plan. For me though, because I was paying for my wristwatch, my phone, I was paying about $145 every month. So that is for phone, for wristwatch, for my normal plan, and then for the mobile plan on my phone and my wristwatch. Right now that I'm done paying for my phone and my wristwatch, it was a 2 years plan. I just said that, like, what's the point? The interest rate was not high, and as a student I wanted that bit by bit cut in my income. I did that, and I would recommend it. I was telling someone recently, I recommend buying your phone and paying in bits. Like, what's the point of paying once, really? Because the difference is usually not much. My bus pass, so you guys do that. I currently use the bus system as my means of transportation to work. In Edmonton, we use the bus and then the train. So I walk downtown, so I use the bus from my house to Century Park. Yeah, if you're living in Edmonton, you know Century Park. And from Century Park, I use the train to my office downtown. You can choose any amount that you want to put on your ARC card. For me, I put $40 and it lasts for about 2 weeks plus. That's because I don't go to work every day. Because every time you tap your card for the first 1 hour or 2 hours, you get charged $3.75, I think, which covers my toll, because even though I use the bus and the train is within the hour, right? And then when I'm coming back, I also use that. So mine takes about 2 weeks plus, and so in a month I pay $80. Okay, parking, for some people, the way I got this apartment, if you have a car, you have to pay for parking. So some people have to pay extra for parking. If you want to use the parking underground, or you want to use the parking just within the vicinity, I think there are different amounts, I'm not too sure. There's that as well. Entertainment, like I said at the beginning, your expenses will go up or reduce based on your lifestyle choices. I'm not really big on entertainment, or rather, I'm not much of an outgoing person. Most of my own bills go to groceries that I incur for the house, not necessarily going out like that. Since I got here, the first time I would go to the cinema would be last week because my friends were around. I'm not a movie person, and if at all I crave to watch any movie, to be on Netflix at home or Prime. Yeah, so I don't really spend so much on entertainment, but I think my own money goes to Uber. So once in a while, if I want to say hi to a friend, which kind of happens twice a month, I spend on Uber. That's where my money goes to, and maybe $50 a month is what I'm going to say. So approximately $50 a month. The next one would be groceries. Sometimes I go to the grocery store twice a month. Sometimes I go to the grocery store once a month. Sometimes I go to the grocery store every week. Let's just say I spend roughly about $300 a month on groceries. I'm not calculating this stuff, so at the end of the day, you guys should do all the calculation and let me know what you think I spent at the end of the month in the comment section. I really appreciate that, because honestly, I've not sat down. You know, some people have Excel sheets, spreadsheets and all. I don't think I've ever sat down to do this. The only thing that helps me, that saves me, is that my bank app helps me to I don't know if I was one that set it up, but it shows the expenses I incur on food, clothing, all of that. And that way, if I am going to a clothing store for the first time, it just pops up and tells me I spent this amount on a new store, on a newfound store, like something, a place that I've never been to before. And if it's also like a restaurant, it also tells me that. Just wanted to break all of this down for you so you understand. I hope that I'm not taking your time. But this one is not every month, but once in a while, I have people that reach out to me to say, hey, do you still have beef? We are trying to share beef between this number of people, and I try to do that as well. It's usually less than $100 because I'm just the only one eating this beef and I have a lot of it right now, so I'm not even incurring anything. This one is not every month, but let's just squeeze it in and say I spend less than $100 on bulk beef. I tend to buy my fish because I love fish a lot. I tend to buy my fish when I'm doing my groceries at the store. That is already under my grocery expenses. Currently, as at this month now, my friend reached out to me yesterday to say they are trying to share tomatoes, peppers, and all of that. So I ordered for a box of tomatoes and half box of bell pepper that I'm going to be sharing with my housemates. The total was approximately $60. So not that bad because I know that it's going to last for a long time. Toiletries and cleaning supplies. This one is below $50 and it's not every month, but also I wanted to squeeze that in just so that you have an idea. I typically buy my toiletries from Dollarama. Dollarama is a very affordable store. Recently my friend and I were talking and we realized that the highest prices of things you will see in Dollarama is like $5. I've not seen something that is higher than $5. That's where I buy my toiletries. So from my garbage bin to my liquid soap and all of that, yeah, it's usually $5. Although I still tend to buy some things from superstore, so sometimes it can be a particular tissue that I use. Sometimes I order from Amazon. Miscellaneous. This one is like personal care, beauty products, anything that I feel like, you know, maybe acne treatment or some of this stuff that YouTubers, popular influencers talk about and I want to try out. Perfume, body spray, anything. Those ones are miscellaneous. It's not every month. I don't really have a price for this because it depends on the particular beauty product that I'm getting. Yeah, so other things that I also want to talk about is gym membership. Again, I am lucky to have a gym within the building because someone is fast becoming a gym rat. I know that on the average people pay about $30 upward for gym membership. There are community gyms in Edmonton that are not pricey, and there are also popular private, not private, but like popular gyms like iFitness, Planet Fitness, all of that. For those that have a car, you will be looking at expenses that you incur on your gas, insurance, parking. Oh, let me talk about this a little bit. So if you work downtown, you already know that you have to pay parking. Some pay monthly, some pay per day because most offices downtown have a hybrid arrangement. So some people tend to just pay per the day that they go there. So depending on, you know, the parking lot that you find. I don't have a price for this because I don't have a car, but I know that people pay for that. So people have pets, so they tend to also take their pets for grooming, maybe every month or bi-weekly, depending. I don't really know much about pets. Different veterinary expenses that they incur on their pets, maybe food that they buy for their pets and all of that. Also health insurance. If you are working, of course you get charged health insurance. So before you get your disposable income, some of the taxes that you incur on your gross income would be health insurance, and that also varies depending on the province. But I know that some people also do personal arrangements, so maybe like life insurance for yourself or for your family. I don't have a price for this one. I'll just say you should look it up depending on the insurance company that you are working with. Like I said, some people do private health insurance plan, which is optional. Also, some people are big on vacation. I wanted to say I am not big, but it's because of funds. But yeah, some people are big on vacation, but it's also not monthly, right? So I'm not really going to have a price for that. But just so you know, traveling within Canada is way more expensive than traveling outside of Canada. I'll tell you that one for free. Then another thing is, after all of these many expenses, I hope that I've covered everything. I came up with this just this week and I was like, I need to talk to you guys about it, especially because I'm sure a lot of people have asked and they're tired of asking, and I just thought, let me surprise you with this one video. After putting all of these expenses, again, personal expenses, I can't remember any other thing that I incur. And if you remember any, I'll just say put it under miscellaneous expenses that I mentioned. It will be different based on your location, the type of miscellaneous expenses you're incurring, and your lifestyle choice, and also your province, because again, in Edmonton, we don't pay provincial tax. We only pay the general service tax, which is 5%. When I was querying my service provider to give me the breakdown of my current bill, because it's not really different from when I was paying for my phone and my wristwatch, they mentioned that I'm still being charged provincial service tax because I had gotten my phone number from Saskatchewan. So just so you know, the province you live in also determines the kind of taxes that you get. It's not really that significant. I'm saying that lightly though, because somebody will say, it is significant, because yeah, some provinces pay about $11. But again, I've talked about this in so many videos. Honestly, I was stumbling on my video for the first time. Please just go through my previous videos. I've said tons of things on this channel, to the extent that when people ask me some questions these days, I just say, go and check on my channel. And I have a Q&A that I asked you guys recently. I'm trying to film that with a friend, so we'll be doing that shortly, just so you know. Last one is going to be talking about savings. So I know that, this is not part of the video. I'm talking about expenses here, but again, I am big on savings. Even if it's $100 every month, it is something. Also, I'll say you should try to invest in RRSP, Retirement Savings Plan, FHSA, First Home Savings Account. So if you've never bought a house before, there's this federal plan for those people that are first-time owners, and save up to the maximum of $8,000. So I think you will not be charged interest on the first $8,000. See, I'm not the best person to talk to. Just go to your bank and ask for all of this. I'm just telling you based off of information that I have. Guess what? All of this savings plan that you have with your bank also helps you when you are trying to file for your tax. I remember that because I have the RRSP, it reduced my taxable income. Yeah, again, talk to a finance expert or talk to your banker so that you have a better understanding of what I'm talking about. Personally, I also try to have savings every month in case of any unforeseen circumstance. Let me not even be too deep. I always go by this savings rule, the 50-30-20 budget rule. That is setting aside 50% of your disposable income for needs, 30% of your disposable income for wants, 20% of your disposable income for savings. I try to go above the 20% sometimes because we need to save, you guys. I need to go on vacation. Hey, that's just on a lighter mood. But yeah, I hope that this video was helpful. Let me know if you have any other question in the comment section. Also, let me know other videos that you'd love to see on the channel soon, and I'll try to film them, okay? Also, don't forget to like this video, share and subscribe, and share with your friends living in Canada, those that are coming in to Canada and want to have an idea of the expenses that they should try to budget or put in mind. I think that this video will be very, very helpful. Don't forget that this is my personal expense. Again, I have not really sat down to say this is the amount that I spend per month. You'll be the judge. So let us know in the comment section how much you think in total. These are not every month expense, but I wanted to just put some out there for you so that you somewhat know what you should try to put in mind when you come to Canada. Ooh, another thing would be to budget for your winter clothing items. Again, I already have those, so that's why I'm not talking about them. But when I first came in, I had to purchase winter clothing items, fall jackets. You can get those at Value Village, depending on, see, right now, I want to say you should forgive me for always just telling you Value Village, because the thrift store, that was where I went to when I first came in. But I have gone to different cities now, and my friends will tell me the Value Village in your location before, that's Saskatoon, I don't think it's the same as everywhere. And see, I'm here to testify that it's actually not the same. Because tell me why, after having those conversations with my friend, I go to those places and I say, you know what, I want to see your Value Village, and they don't really have things. Another place to buy winter clothing items would be Mountain Warehouse. If you want to know more about some of the clothing items or things that you should prepare yourself for when it comes to winter, I would have a video linked up here for you. It's very, very detailed. I had to show some things so that you'd understand what I'm talking about. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I'll see you guys in my next one. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, okay? Bye guys.